Learn the most advanced recruiting techniques. Land the most desirable talent. Launch your company towards massive success. This is the Higher Power Radio Show with Rick Girard.
This is Rick Girard with the Higher Power Radio Show, and I am here at Octane's 2018 Technology Innovation Summit, and I'm talking to Ryan Permeh, who is the co-founder and chief scientist for Cylance. Ryan, thank you for spending a quick moment with me.
Thanks, Rick. It's really nice to have me on.
So tell me about the subject that you're presenting on here at the Technology Innovation Forum today.
Yeah, we were talking about how Southern California can benefit from the rise of cybersecurity and the jobs it can create. It was an interesting forum where we had multiple CISOs, or Chief Information Security Officers, and security vendors who have set up shop here in Southern California, and everybody was discussing some of the key areas where their investments were necessary to help protect both from small businesses on up to large enterprises. We were able to discuss sort of a broad pattern of elements there around areas such as how to apply cybersecurity frameworks, and ultimately a conversation about what really truly makes Southern California unique.
The premise of our show is to provide hiring solutions for difficult hiring challenges. And so you guys have experienced some really explosive growth over the past couple of years. And so to talk a little bit about that, what's that roller coaster ride been like for you?
Sure. It's been an honor and an amazing privilege to see us go from startup to almost 1,000 people in 6 years. But there's definitely some challenges along that way in terms of sourcing, training, and enabling that many employees, especially around the areas of keeping culture and developing culture in a rapidly changing organization.
What have been the biggest challenges in doing that you've seen?
One of the biggest for us is simply finding the right people, but even beyond that, making sure that we're targeting the right types of roles for the people to fit into. We've been very lucky in finding some really strong talent, but hiring talented people because they're talented isn't always the best way to go about it. Making sure that you have clear understandings of what makes an employee successful really has become sort of a key hallmark in how we need to continue to grow a rapidly growing business.
It's really important to have the right talented person in the right seat doing the right work. I would imagine that as you've been growing through this explosive growth, that maybe you might have misfired on a few of those.
There's definitely an evolution. When you hire quickly, sometimes people don't fit in the right roles. Sometimes you're making investments quickly that don't pan out, and shifting people to new roles sometimes doesn't work out. It's important for us to make sure that you're always measuring and helping people fit into something that's valuable for them and valuable for a company.
Thank you for sharing that with me. I want to shift gears toward the topic that you guys talked about, which was cybersecurity. How do companies mitigate security risks when bringing on new employees?
So depending on the environment that you're in, you may have regulatory concerns that require things like background checks, and oftentimes that's going to be more physical security type of challenges, arrest records, elements like that. More and more companies have been leveraging sort of virtual security understanding, looking at a person's social media profile. But for most companies, probably the biggest pop that they're going to get to ensure that a new employee is onboarded and working with them is to have a clear security policy and have that part of your new hire package, including any training that becomes appropriate. It's important to not make assumptions that somebody's coming in with your expectations of what security means. And so training them appropriately through the onboarding process is an important element of that.
Have you guys been part of the Octane ecosystem for quite some time, and what's been your experience with Octane?
This is my first time at an Octane event. I believe Cylance has had some interactions with Octane and as part of the general Orange County and Southern California technology scene here for a while. I'm very impressed with the quality of talks and the breadth of people here. The sideline conversations alone definitely make it worth checking out.
All right, Ryan, I want to thank you so much for spending a few moments of your time with us.
Great, Rick. Thank you so much.
And thanks for being on the show. You had mentioned that you guys are doing some hiring still. If any of our listeners to the podcast are interested in Cylance, how do they find your jobs? How do they reach out to you?
So first and foremost, we list all of ours on our website, but we also have them up on LinkedIn as well. So both of those are great ways to connect with Cylance looking for any open positions that we might have.
So if you're looking for a really cool company to work for, I would recommend checking out Cylance.
Thank you for listening to Higher Power with Rick Girard on OC Talk Radio.